Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
View of why we're here today. Working in collaboration with the City of Wheatland, the Yuba-Water Agency, the University of California, Davis, and the United States Air Force, we propose to create an applied research facility on donated land, approximately 10 acres within the City of Wheatland, just 5 miles south of Beale Air Force Base. The primary focus of the Yuba Applied Research Center, or the YARC we're calling it, and I know we don't like acronyms, but because the Air Force is here, right. I'm going to use an acronym. Yep, absolutely. The primary focus will be upon practical research with job-creating commercialization opportunities to nurture the creation and attraction of startup and existing complementary companies and industries. And as an important component of the development of the YARC, a memorandum of understanding will be signed today by and between, again, the Water Agency, the City of Wheatland, University of California at Davis, and Beale Air Force Base, with the intent to develop mutually beneficial research projects and collaborative partnerships, create a collaborative research center in the City of Wheatland, engage with the United States Air Force, the United States Space Force, including Beale Air Force Base, in additional collaborative research efforts, all with the purpose of benefiting the local, regional, and state economy and protecting the natural resources of Yuba County, as well as providing a national security for our country. And that's really important. And the Yuba Water Agency has formed a not-for-profit organization for the purpose of accepting donations, pursuing grant funding, and financing capital projects for the Yuba Applied Research Center. So before we have the signing, I'd like those that will be signing to come up and just say a few words in their engagement with us. And I really want to take the opportunity to introduce a few people that are here first. And I want to recognize, first of all of the board members from the Yuba Water Agency and thank them for their long outstanding support of our efforts here. I also want to recognize AKT Development. Without them and the donation of the land, I'm going to ask Kyriakos Sakopoulos to say a few words in just a minute. Angelo, Julie Hansen, for their leadership in providing a place for us to actually develop this research center. And I also want to recognize Lisa Mara, who's with us today. She's with Congressman LaMalfa's office. Again, without Doug's support, we couldn't do a lot of what we're trying to achieve right now. Thank you, Lisa, for your involvement with all of that. Let me first turn to Dr. Christina Davis, who's the Associate Vice Chancellor of Research for UC Davis. Her resume is so long, I'm not going to touch upon a lot of the outstanding work she's done. One of the things I will mention, though, she's a former member of the U.S. Air Force Science Board, so she gets what the Air Force does. But she's close by, and we're so fortunate to have UC Davis be a part of this initial MOU. So, Christina.
Juan, thank you so much. It's a delight to be here with our partners, and we are really excited about the opportunities that this YARC will bring to our entire community. UC Davis can imagine our engagement on a few different fronts. So we have an educated workforce, so we're constantly training and graduating folks that can help to power the economy out of the opportunities that come out of this. And then there are research opportunities as well. And so, as we delve more deeply into topics that can help all of our stakeholders, and that might include things like wildfire protection, forestry resilience, looking at power and water management, emergency response planning, energy sustainability. Like, we're hitting a lot of topics here that matter to all of the people in this region, and it goes on and on. Agriculture technologies, at UC Davis, we do ag pretty well. And I think that we have a lot that we can bring to this group, as well as the AI. We're all talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning these days, and that's a huge component of everything, even the agriculture parts, but especially how we we engage in technology, potentially helping on looking at defense with Beal, but also with defense contractors that may hopefully decide to open offices in the region. So we're excited to be a part of this, Lon. Thank you so much for your stewardship of these relationships. And so thanks for having us here today.
Christina, thank you very much. I now want to bring up the commander of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing and really the commander out of Beal Air Force Base. He's going to be with us only for another week or so, and then he goes out. I'm still sticking around. He'll be on a deployment for a few months. But Colonel Keegan McLeese is outstanding Air Force pilot, and let me turn it over to you, and please.
Thanks, Lon. I really appreciate it. What I will say is, I should say what I like about this. There are very few in this room that I don't know. And that's not because of who I am, but it just shows the relationship that Beal has with the whole entire local community. So to me, to be here is a no-brainer, and to sign on to this is a no-brainer, because this is really just codifying something that already exists. We already interact at a regular pace, on a regular basis. It's just signing something saying, yes, this is what we do. It's not something necessarily that's new, but it will foster something that's new. Coming in, I've only been in command for less than 3 months, and I've already learned just how much this area is growing and has grown in the recent past. But I'd say that this is really a harbinger of things to come for the growth that's coming. You know, our service, the Air Force, and really the Space Force, if you think about it, it's born out of innovation. We were a part of the Army, and there was a new technology called the airplane that came along, and so we needed to innovate as a service. We said, we think differently. Airmen think differently than how the Army does. And so our service was born. And then really that's how you get the Space Force as well, right? New technology, new innovative ideas bear out a new service. And so I would say that innovative spirit is what I'd like to think that we bring and we contribute. But then also I like the fact that even though we already interact on a regular basis, we now have a location to go to, right? We're going to have an actual location, and it's a really good thing to have it be not necessarily on Beal Air Force Base proper, because that involves a lot of, you know, getting people certified and saying background checks and whenever we just have a location that we can all easily get to, but it's near Beal, where a lot of our airmen and our guardians can easily go to interact. And now we can work on things like wildfire prevention, floodplain management, energy conservation, energy resiliency, and then also the AI, the innovative things that the service thinks about. It's not necessarily just the technology we have, but we have a unique approach. And then you talk to Yuba-Sutter, you go with Wheatland, you go with just the state of California. There's a lot of innovative thoughts there. You start to bring those all together, and I think we're going to have a lot of synergy that's brought about from having this location to go to that codifies something that already exists and brings a location that's a common location to do that. So at the outset, I think we've got the opportunity for homeland defense, right, that we can do with, like I said, the floodplain management and all those fancy terms. But then in the future, I think it's going to bear out even all the more innovation, and it's going to be a great way of getting us connected into the community. So I'm looking forward to it. I am excited to sign on to this, and I'm really just happy to be here and get to be with what I feel is my new family. So thanks.
Thank you, Colonel McLeese. Let me now turn to the chairman of the Water Agency Board. John, do you have a few words to share with us as well?
Yes, I do. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Colonel McLeese. Thank you, Dr. Davis and Mayor West for coming up to this event. My name is John Messick. I'm the chairman of the Yuba Water Agency and Yuba County Supervisor for District 5, which is the entire rural area of Yuba County, including Beal Air Force Base. So it's a pleasure for me to be here doing that. For those who may not be familiar, Yuba Water Agency serves people of Yuba County by reducing the risk of flooding, ensuring that we have a reliable water supply, and protecting and restoring fish habitat, generating clean, reliable hydropower, and providing recreation at New Bullards Bar Reservoir, which is the 5th tallest dam in the United States, and also recreation at Lake Francis, which is probably the 5th smallest dam in the United States. So, Yuba Water has always been focused on building partnerships and finding creative solutions to advance our missions. In the 1960s, we built New Bullards Bar Dam, an impossible feat for a small public agency like ours at the time. After devastating floods hit Yuba County in 1986 and 1997, we worked with state, federal officials to bring in funding to fix the levees. Today, we have some of the most modern levees in the state. We're also working to balance water supply to support our critical agricultural community while protecting the environment. We've funded large-scale habitat and forest restoration projects to protect our watershed. Behind all this are people who are passionate about this community and driven by the belief that research, science, and collaboration can solve real-world challenges that we're going to be facing in the future, such as extreme weather, droughts, intense wildfires, and large storms that threaten our communities. By partnering with the people in this room, researchers at UC Davis, the Air Force, and forward-looking communities like Wheatland, we have a unique opportunity to tackle these challenges head-on together. This memorandum of understanding is really just us coming together to say we're committed to doing that. So I'm really excited to see how this research can help drive continued improvements in Yuba County's natural resource management, our economic development, and imagine how much more we will accomplish when Applied Research Facility is constructed and bringing this all together, not to mention the jobs and other opportunities it could bring. With that, I want to thank everyone for being here and for sharing Yuba County's passion for our local communities and our watershed. So with that, we'll turn it over to Mayor West.
That's right. Chairman Messick, thank you very much. I would be remiss, although I am a consultant to the Water Agency, I'm also a consultant to the City of Wheatland. So I want to introduce Mayor Rick West to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Lon. Actually, Lon is the quarterback, I think. He's kind of quarterbacked this whole thing. He's done a, all right, well, anyway, yeah, you've done a fantastic job getting all the parties together. It's absolutely amazing to me what can happen if people work together. You know, at Wheatland, we are extremely excited about this opportunity. We're really excited to be working with Yuba Water Agency, Terry. Really appreciate all of your help. With Beale Air Force Base, Colonel, thank you so much. You know, can't remember when we had a better relationship with Beale Air Force Base. It's just fantastic. It's amazing what we can do. You know, there's a lot of things we can do together to help each other out. So thank you very much. And AKT, thank you too. Thank you so much. And UC Davis, we couldn't do this without you either. You guys are a fantastic partner. It's just amazing to me, again, what can happen when people get together. You know, we can't do a whole lot by ourselves, but when we get together and work together and put our heads together and collaborate, amazing things can happen. And so I say something that's a little bit on the cliche side, but it's another exciting day for Wheatland and Yuba County and the Water Agency. It's a great day. It's a fantastic day, and I thank all of you for putting this thing together. You know, I can only imagine in the future, you know, Lon does a little economic development stuff for us, right? Well, actually a lot. He's the quarterback. So anyway, I can only imagine in the future, 5 years from now, all the different industries that will start moving in around this research center. This is not just going to be the research center. It's going to be little ancillary operations all the way around it. And you know what? Those jobs are going to be high-paying professional jobs, which is really exciting to me. It's nice to see that. That's exactly what we need in Yuba County and in Wheatland. So thank you all. Julie, thank you also. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so very much. Really excited to sign this MOU.
Thank you, Mayor West. Last but certainly not least, I want to recognize Kyriakos Sakopoulos and with AKT Development. Without their generous donation, we couldn't even get started with this idea. So Kyriakos.
Thank you, Lon. Well, on behalf of AKT and the Sakopoulos family and all of our partners, Julie Hansen, my father, who wishes everyone here the very best and success with this project, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be involved. And Lon, again, for your leadership in involving us and helping us understand that you can have the brightest people, but we need to have a place for them to assemble. And that's what we're able to contribute. You know, Aristotle said over 2,500 years ago that we're political animals. And I think what he meant is that people need to be together. And when we are together, we find all kinds of innovations to solve the problems that we face. And we face many, many problems. But we live in the greatest country on earth, and that is evident in the fact that we are entrusted at all levels here to represent many constituencies, and we have a great responsibility to work together to try to make their lives better. And so AKT is committed to work with all the parties to do that. And again, we're very humbled to be part of this group and to be here today with all the esteemed partners in this venture. So thank you.
Before we actually sign the MOU, I believe those that are signing are willing to take any questions. Does anybody have any questions? Especially for Colonel McLeese. And the reason I point that out is we're going to see a mission change out at the base over the next several years. And I think there are a lot of people that are curious within the community as to what that actually means. What will that bring to the community? And if a mission changes, what sort of research opportunities are we going to see? And so maybe I'll pose that question to you. What do you anticipate seeing in the next 5 years at Beale?
So what do I anticipate seeing over the next 5 years at Beale is a complicated answer because part of it is we're not 100% sure, but I will say it also depends, right? Which are two qualifying statements. But what I do know is that the U2 is going to be around for a few more years, a couple more years, however we see it. Right now, we are on track to divest the platform as a service, but the timeline still. We have been directed on a timeline, but yet we still are always we serve at the pleasure of the Congress, right? And so we need to make sure that we adhere to what they ask of us. So there's a balancing act there, but we are on a path to divest of the platform. So then you should be asking, so what is next? Well, we do already have the Common Mission Control Center there, which is a classified system that we operate that kind of takes us to the next level of reconnaissance. But there's an opportunity. It's all pre-decisional. There's nothing is out there firm, but I know the community has a huge interest, and it's showing in some congressional and Senate interest in getting what are called collaborative combat aircraft to be based out of Beale. And I personally, as a military member with a fighter pilot background that I bring, in addition to our reconnaissance expertise, would say that it does seem to be a very attractive location for that. It remains to be seen as to if that will come or not. But those collaborative combat aircraft are like drone wingmen, right? So you have a quarterback, could be a fighter pilot in the cockpit, that then has 4, 8, 16 collaborative combat aircraft, drone wingmen that are alongside of them that provide a problem set in numbers, bring extra weapons to bear, bring more sensors to bear, and don't put as many of fighter pilots' lives at stake even, and enable us to really get after some of the problem sets that we see, particularly in the Indo-Pacific with these great reaches that we have and the challenges that are therein. So if that were to come to Beale, it could be here. I mean, it could happen as soon as, 5 years or less. That's distinctly possible. Again, a lot of things have to happen before we get there, but a location like the Y-Arc would be a location where we could share what we see as the future of Beale, what we see as could happen with collaborative combat aircraft. And then how does that impact the local economy? What are some innovative things that we need to look at? What type of energy resiliency does that mean that we're going to demand that we will need, and how can we collaborate with Yuba-Sutter, with Wheatland, with UC Davis in order to get ourselves on the same sheet of music going the same direction, as opposed to accidentally working against each other, or at least 90 degrees out. So I would say that's the future of Beale is very bright, because that beam of excitement really is sitting with me, and it's something I'm very interested in having get to Beale, and I know the community is, and so since the community is, I'm on board too. So I think there's a lot of mutual benefit there, which is why I don't think a single congressman or senator has really said no to sign on to this, to ask Secretary Kendall, Secretary Austin for that platform to come to Beale first, which is really exciting. So there's excitement with it. There's some uncertainty that's with it, but I will tell you it's something that has me working feverishly to make sure that it's an opportunity and a possibility at Beale. I would not want to do anything that would block that. And that brings along some opportunities for Space Force as well. So answer that question. I don't know if there's others. Yeah.
Other questions? Seeing no other questions, let me invite those that are going to sign the MOU, please up to the table.
I don't know.
I don't think it really matters. I don't think it matters.
Okay. Sorry.
You can sit.
Jump in the middle.
So you're probably going to have to sign 4 times, so each of you will have a copy of this.
There you go. Well, we've got 2 that are good.
Can we get a reprint?
I have one more copy.
Well, we just have a copy machine right there.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get, we can do the copy. One, give you bad directions.
Let me give you bad directions. Sorry.
Yes, please.
They're not binding. I was in
Did you really?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, they got a hold of me.
Right.
Whoops.
Were they still? Where was it?
He goes, don't worry, I called them. Some fighter plane was ready to scramble. You know, I think everybody follow you. No, it was a night. We're watching NASCAR. Especially when NASCAR fans are flying.
People stalk us at public events about those pens. They're like, did you bring one of those pens?
They are amazing.
Switch.
All right, so make sure everybody gets a copy.
Okay, I believe that concludes.
We're gonna do some photos.
Okay, we're going to take a couple more photos here.
Yes. So our board members, Terry.
I can stand well.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm averse to pictures. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes today's MOU signing. I want to invite everybody. We have some light refreshments. Please feel free to stay behind. And thank you all for today's event.
Always my pleasure. My pleasure. Pull this thing together like chasing across the table.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.